Well, like, subscribe, share, comment, all that good stuff help promote and rank up my channel. So we're back to review Loki episode 2. Spoiler warning, there will be spoilers. I will spoil everything. Mephisto is behind everything. And what you really want to know is, this good or bad? It's god awful, and you should be ashamed of yourself. I'm kidding. I love you. But this episode, thankfully, is a lot better than the first. Oh god, turn it the fuck off! Oh, that wasn't Loki? The positives of this episode up front out the gate, the tension building and mystery of the show are pretty enthralling. The stakes are raised. There's a sense of urgency in this episode that the previous didn't have. The pairing of Owen Wilson, Tom Hiddleston, Loki, and Mobius continues to be great. More interesting, thought-provoking, two equally manipulative people continuously canceling each other out. Let's get into some of the details of this episode. The TVA gets ambushed again by Loki Variant and takes an agent hostage, and our Loki, still assisting the TVA, is still trying to manipulate Mobius, and these two are just a great counterbalance to each other. Wise and equally manipulative. The episode plays a lot on what happens if an event in time reaches red line, that change becomes permanent and it can't be reset. Learn a lot more about time, Nexus events, and that the timekeepers are keeping a closer eye on this than any other case. Because what Variant Loki is doing will destabilize the TVA, the timeline as you know it, spin off into a multiverse of madness. Renslayer, who is absolutely nothing like her comic book counterpart, except for probably being in love with Kang. Why else would you bring such a character in if not? She may be the only one on here that personally interacts with the timekeepers. There's just so much alluding to King the Conqueror, those statues in her office. It kind of feels like one person's in charge, not three. Maybe there used to be three and maybe he murdered the others. Or another possibility, there is a moment in her office where they unusually give a pin a spotlight when there's this alluding to a romance between Mobius and Rin. He has affection for her that's been seen with the way he compliments her, and that she mentions she interacts with other people, so he's not the only one. It is quite possible that King the Conqueror isn't in charge right now, and he is in fact just a TVA agent, much like Mobius. If you consider the pin, maybe she got that pin from King, who's already in charge. And they're just alluding to the fact that she's romantically involved already. Aside from that, a big part of the episode is just Loki discovering that you can do anything at all when there's an impending apocalypse. And this is how this person's hiding, because no variation can be caused. If everybody dies in an area and nobody lives to tell about it, you can't cause a ripple effect. So you can just go in there, do whatever crazy stuff you want at Bell, and there will be no ripple effects recorded, no fluctuations or anything. That's how they find out where Lady Loki is. Mobius getting Loki one more chance, our Loki. They managed to pull a team together and go to this grocery store that they've narrowed down, because also the gum they got is from this specific area and this disaster, this impending disaster. So they've concluded where Lady Loki is hiding. And a big surprise for me when it comes down to the face-off between this Lady Loki variant is she seems much more like Enchantress. You even have dialogue from Loki like, I wouldn't treat myself like this. I really think that this is a combination of characters. Also, the character did not want to be called Loki. Maybe this character will be the MCU's version of Enchantress rather than just a Lady Loki, because she has the blonde hair, and it's a bit surprising that they wouldn't cast somebody that looks closer to the way Tom Hiddleston does to play the Lady Loki variant, even though they point out the fact through the episode they can look drastically different as they highlight the different Lokis through the hologram, which also alludes to the fact that maybe all this Spider-Man stuff with Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire and Tom Holland in the third Spider-Man movie are true. The ultimate plan to take all these reset time devices and drop them through places in time to cause massive damage to the so-called sacred timeline was incredibly intriguing and quite the payoff that really raised the stakes on this one. Lady Loki, or I'm just gonna call her Enchantress. Enchantress denies working with Loki repeatedly. He reveals he's been trying to manipulate them, gain their confidence, get a face-to-face with the timekeepers so he can overthrow them. And this Lady Loki doesn't care about his plans. She's going about her own way of doing things. But ultimately, Lady Loki escapes and leaves the portal open long enough, seeming like she wanted Loki to follow her. Which is the conclusion for this episode. Everybody starts flooding the time portals or whatever to get out there, even Renslayer herself. This is gonna have massive ramifications, and I can't wait to see where it goes. That was an incredible payoff. This episode was more outgoing, fun, adventurous. Let me know your thoughts and opinions. Big good one here. Eventually we will like, subscribe, share, comment, all that good stuff. Give me your theories in the comment section. Stay awesome. Rock on.